Hello, ComicsGate. Ooh, look at that. This is Midday Repartee. I am Rotten Glory, joined today by the creator of Blood Hunt and Tales from the Natverse. Sim, how are you doing? I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm doing good.
Nice.
Sorry, I muted doing your intro video.
Yeah, the video is an overlay, so it automatically mutes everyone, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, Hail, Mitchell, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good to have you here, man.
Good to
I
be
see
here.
you're back at home, comfortable today.
Yep. On
Nice,
call.
nice.
That's
Uh,
USA Assassin and behind you, right?
Yep. And then I
and
got
And
to the
Magic
chat,
Cop. And Magic Cop. Yeah.
Mary Boys.
yeah. Mary Boys is so beautiful.
Lost
Damn,
Pages promo that came with Magic Up. Drake. Yeah, got a little bit of everyone.
nice. We got Scotsman in the house. Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Captain Fuckhead is here. Frago funding. Thanks for being here. Share out the stream if you can. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff.
Let's do
Before we
so.
drop into our main topic, what do you guys think about this this thing that Warner Bros is doing? This virtual convention. Have you heard about this?
Oh, they're doing their own version of CG?
Yeah, I guess maybe you could look at it that way. It seems maybe more modeled after like what video game,
Yeah.
live stream
But
type deals.
Comic Con and Salon du Livre, the book salons, I've been
Yeah,
trying to do the same thing here, like trying to do a virtual like type of convention where you could buy time with the creators, and you sometimes buy pictures that are signing signatures. Yeah.
wow. That seems a little weird. Buy
They're just trying
time.
to still make money. That's all it is. That's that.
Yeah,
It just goes to prove what they have become. It's not about celebrating comics anymore. It's about you know.
Yeah.
we got Scotsman asking for the link. Let me get that in the chat for everybody.
Hell yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
great. He hasn't been on in a while.
I don't
Let's get him
really
up.
think the convention is gonna, like, a digital convention is really gonna sell well. Like, when I think of conventions, I like the physical aspect of them being there. I like
Yeah,
being able to go and see what different merchants are vending, actually walk through the artist alley. If it's digital, I mean, it's why not just scroll through like Twitter or Facebook or ArtStation or something and try
But
to
that's
yeah,
find something new.
exactly. How
that's
you
what I'm
doing,
saying.
Scotsman?
That's what
Looking good.
Hey, baby, how are you?
that's why I said it that way, saying they're trying to copy what we're doing
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's what we
Well, it
are.
seems these companies have been able to get away with really not paying the artists what they deserve for their. I mean, if you're doing a monthly book, especially like you're chained to a drawing table for hundreds of hours a month, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And they're not making it. They're really not getting paid what that's worth. But if you're working for a Marvel, DC, and you're doing that convention circuit, you probably, I can't speak to how much they make doing that, but I would guess it's a huge supplement to their income, right?
Hmm.
So if you take away
Yeah.
conventions, is it really even worth it
Okay.
for a talented artist to work for these companies?
Keep in mind that DC don't not DC, but usually when they go to cons, right? Usually the premise of it is the artist gets paid by the convention, right? The convention
Yes.
makes money off of selling those pics, those meetups, those uh, signature moment, right? Special one-on-one or group meetup in the bar or something. They're the
Yeah.
one making money out of it because they pay a certain price and they have to charge. So when you pay $250 to meet, I don't know, Stewart, right? The
Yeah.
money's not going to him because he's already paid to be there.
Right.
It's going to the them that are paying the contract that they had with the agent to get him there.
Right. I get that.
That's why they hear like Montreal Comic Con, they have to deal with something called Loto Quebec here, because you know that anything that's lottery, it's governmental here. Check. So anything that they're doing, they still have to deal with them like they're a big event, like just for laughs and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, an artist at a convention though could, I mean, don't. There's a lot of money making potential for artists. It would seem to sell their art, sketches.
Yeah, but that's the thing right now is that their conventions that they're doing digital. They're not for creators technically to sell shit. They're for them to sell merch for people that are known. So we creators, the independent, we pay our spot to be there. That's where we make money, right?
Yes.
While they're there just to advertise bigger companies. So they
Correct.
get paid to advertise for other movies because they have a lot. You know very well that cons usually have movies. So
Oh, most
you
definitely.
have movie actors and stuff like that. So it's not
Yeah.
really going to be about having comic book artists selling some original art and stuff, which I think would have been cool if that would be in the process of it. As in, like, get you still get your con commission to a to a website or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not what's happening right now. It's mainly. So that's why I'm worried. I'm not worried about that. I'm kind of like curious to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I will be curious to see, how it's going to, it's a 24-hour thing. And of course, a huge chunk of that is going to be devoted to the movies and TV shows and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know how big a role the comics will actually play in it.
They're not making money with comics.
Yeah, exactly. So you can guess it's going to be pretty small on that end.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Scotsman?
I think it is a trend that we're seeing in not just comics but also gaming. As an avid World of Warcraft player, as you know, Blizzard Entertainment, they do. Yeah, cover my face with the banner while I'm speaking. It's cool.
That's my favorite thing to do. Is there a way I can make it so it doesn't do that? I would love to.
Yeah, I could leave and come back. And you could be above it.
No. I'm kidding. I don't give a shit.
Because I want to look at Scotsman for as long as possible. It's not,
Hell. So Blizzard Entertainment, they do a annual convention called BlizzCon, and BlizzCon is in it's been in Irvine, it's been in Anaheim, it's been in various convention centers in Southern California, but a few years back they started doing the virtual con experience where you would pay a fraction of the door fee to get into the convention, and you get access to all of their panel discussions. You get video access to all of the creator meetings and the Q&As, the one-on-ones, things like that. You have people who MC, and they go from stage to stage, and they that's when they're breaking news about Diablo, about the new Warcraft expansion or whatever. So virtual cons, they exist, and they're quite successful. So they usually give out some swag for whoever buys a ticket. You'll get a code for an unlock in game. You know what I mean, through your Battle.net account. So there are benefits to doing that, but that benefits the consumer almost exclusively. And when you talk about video game development, the individual artists and art team and developers and coders and the whole gamut of everybody who works on those games, they're not getting anything extra. They're going to be there anyway. So as far as the Comic-Con would be concerned, I see literally no benefit for the creators and artists to be a part of that. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
my
make
concern about
any
it. Yeah,
sense
exactly.
to do it. Apart from the exposure, visual exposure, people getting to see your face. They see your name or they see your work or whatever. They don't necessarily always see you. So people getting to see, put the face to the art and kind of connect and maybe improve or deepen the fandom for each artist. That's definitely there's some value there, but it's not the same as walking up and shaking, I don't know, Jim Lee's hand and handing him an X-Men and having him scrawl out in his silver pen, his name on it. That experience is something that's totally different. And that stuck with me forever. Like, I've never forgotten that moment. Right after he made fun of me, he signed 5 of my X-Men comics. And that moment it's seared in my brain forever.
Yes.
So,
it's how lifelong fans can be created.
Sure.
For sure, that connection with
and
the
destroyed.
creator.
If you have a
Or
negative
destroy,
experience,
correct. Yeah, never
you know,
meet your heroes, as
you
we've
walk up
said
to
many
Eric
times.
Larson and ask him to look at one of your sketches, you might walk away and say, "Fuck that guy," like forever. You know?
Yeah, it's a major loss, and it's like we could talk about distribution problems and woes all day long, but the
Yeah.
loss of physical conventions to me is, man, that could be the death blow for the whole thing. Like, if
I think it's a growing thing with the YouTube going on. Like, dude,
mhm.
you even have David Finch lately that started doing his own his own type of like art tutorials and streaming.
I love watching him draw.
And dude, he's a great guy, dude. And, I've met him a few times, right?
Yeah.
Fellow Canadian too,
Put
from
it this way.
Montreal.
Put it this way.
But that said,
My
it's
knowledge
been
of,
growing.
my knowledge of art is pretty deep. I'm in my 40s. I've been an artist my entire life, right? I understand a lot of technique. I understand principles. I've taken art history, all slew of art classes, all that shit. Watching a few of his videos of him drawing and explaining the way, for some reason, the way he explains his process hits me right in the brain. I'm like, oh, I learned shit that I already kind of knew, but from a new perspective.
And that's
I would
he's on
absolutely
YouTube.
tune into Finch. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely watch it. His
Yeah.
his explanation of light and shadow, how to define planes and things like that. Excellent. I've watched a lot of videos, and for some reason, just the way he explains things,
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely seems
Because he's
to
got
me
no
that
ego too. Like it doesn't come across like a lot of artists have like an ego behind when they speak.
No.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I think it's one of the things that comes from the fact that they're at the core they came from the indie, independent part of it. Like you there's a humble part of it, them earning your stripe. Like
Yeah.
you start from the bottom. There's a camaraderie that was that image back then in the indie field. You didn't just start and work like 10, 20 years as a me, myself, and I trying to be the rock star, right? Type of mentality that some of them had to break out of to actually, become
for sure.
independent creator like Polito did and a few others did throughout the year, Ethan and stuff like that. You had to break that type of think to try and go hit the independent medium. No.
That's one of the reasons why when I hear people like I say pros, whatever the fuck that means.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear mainstream artists shit on ComicsGate and say that it's illegitimate or it's not really a thing or these guys they'll be gone next week or whatever. When I hear that kind of stuff, I just giggle. I'm like, you realize these are humans who are actually making money and supporting themselves doing art, right? And the way they talk it's not just elitist, it's fucking sick,
I agree. It's like there's the difference between saying pro, meaning that you work for Marvel and DC, or being pro that you work professionally. Like it's one of the things I was discussing with somebody else, right? I'm not going to
paradigm,
say,
but
I'm going to talk for myself. But the thing of the idea of I've worked in storyboarding, I've worked for a movie company, I've worked for a gaming company, I've worked for a convention. I am a pro.
Same here.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you are.
I've been doing
I feed my
comics
family with my art. I feed my family with my art. I've built this beautiful body with my art.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like it's the idea behind pro. It really kind of disgusts me. The way
that's why some of them use industry pro, which is more accurate.
I guess.
But even there, I'm part of an industry, multiple industries.
Exactly. Like even Rod, he's a
they're
professional
just trying to get
artist.
laid.
Skip Edwards says conventions aren't going away. Big conventions maybe, but there are several here in Arizona that have new artists, new projects, and vendors selling original art and key back issues. I think that's again, a lot of this could be blessings in disguise. Maybe it's going to move away from the giant conventions that really have been just consumed and taken over by films and that higher profile shit. And it'll get back to the core of it being about the art, the creators of comic books, a little bit more intimate. That's a great thing.
Another
So-
thing it does too is it forces the natural order of meritocracy back into the equation. Whereas when you work for Marvel or DC, obviously your book sales are, they ensure you're going to keep getting put on projects, right? If your books aren't selling, then obviously your work's going to dry up. But if you're the tallest midget, you know what I'm saying? If you're the guy who just does a little better than the worst guy, you're always going to get work, right?
Yeah.
And even if the shit doesn't sell, but you bring that more to the crowd-funded, independent, your platform and your ability to network with other creators is almost equal to your total financial. Sim. Your ability to
Oh,
network
yeah.
is
Ooh, is
to
that
your
a
potential-
hard
your-
copy of Death War or
your
Death Hunt?
Bloodhound. Yes.
Blood. Fuck!
The first proof copy came in, even had the spine.
Mm.
I pulled it.
So
I pulled
anyway,
a Yoko.
that's what I was saying.
Wrongly named something.
I was not interrupted. I was just going like,
No, you didn't interrupt at all. It wasn't a distraction in any way, shape, or form.
No,
That's
not even.
sexy. Open it
Yeah.
up. Show
But
some
Scott-
sexy spread, baby.
Scott's
What's
the
it
only one
wearing?
Scott's the only one that didn't know yet that I got the proof.
Yeah, dude, that's so
I didn't
awesome.
know. I just fucking found out when you waved that.
So
Yeah,
here's
that's
that.
awesome. Mm.
So
Come on, make 'em
I
big.
paid for the extra enriched black. So you
Oh,
can see
right.
how
Yeah,
it
you
comes
were
out.
telling. Yeah. Nice.
Go out a little bit. It's blurry as fuck.
Hold on, let me change page at the same time. Here's that. Because right now the page are not glued because the printer I'm using use German bind, so they're gonna get sewed. So they don't do it right
Oh,
away for the
that,
proof.
that is fucking hot, dude.
Uh huh. Is that a
Nice.
spread?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
that's a double
Awesome.
page. See, it splits in two because.
So what is
that's the
it? What is it? 40, 30, 30, 100 as far as CMYK?
It's not CYMK. It's actually RGB in the blacks. It's printed color.
Is it a digital?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's,
The only thing is, the 2 points is there's the color that came out a bit too dark, so I'm gonna get the CYMK treatment done a bit on it
Mm-hmm.
because I think it just came out a bit too dark.
Yeah.
And there's 2 page where there was like a misplace in it that got cut off, so the tweak's getting done and the order's getting sent this week. So I'm gonna get all the books.
You might try a different embedded ICC profile. It might give you a better color output.
And the 6 a.m. sticker.
Damn.
That's badass.
Hail Ninja Turtle. Is that what it is?
Turtle power.
Turtle power. Turtle power. Okay.
So Razmaz says conventions in Mexico are still on hold. Maybe the ones in November will open, but still no confirmation. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In the States, if they've just been canceled across the board, right, for the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, here too.
We
Yeah.
went past VidCon so far. VidCon was what, in the middle of June?
Yep.
And that's the big YouTube convention.
And nobody cares about YouTubers.
Nobody does except
even-
for fucking teenage girls.
Yeah, YouTubers don't care about YouTubers.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, that trend died with the Pauls.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in a fire, violently. What?
So
What
that
were we
kind of,
talking about?
it does bring us to kind of a good segue into our main topic. I was just curious, like checking in with people in different areas, like what's going on with the whole COVID thing where you are? Like what kind of weird, absurd shit is happening? Something here that I thought is really funny, and I'm in California. They fought, I don't know how long it took them, probably years, to cancel plastic bags, right? And I don't
Wait,
know
you're
if
in
this
Cali
is-
with me as well?
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
too.
All
Yeah.
you fuckers are in Cali? We gotta meet up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome.
I'm out in the IE. I'm near Art T. Bear.
I guess they
Nice.
were the beach,
Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area.
California.
So they worked for, I think, years to cancel plastic bags at like grocery stores and what have you. They finally succeeded, killed off the plastic bag. Everybody got in the habit of using, reusable like
Reusable bags.
cloth bags,
Mhm.
and that was cool. Like, totally fine with it. But now with the COVID thing, the grocery stores will not let you bring in your reusable bags, and they brought back the plastic. Like,
Mhm.
it's like
Back with the
really
plastic, you don't pay anymore. It's like, hey, get your bags.
what an
Isn't that
insane,
fun?
Well, some states they charge you 10 cents per bag.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
They were doing that. They were doing
Yeah.
that before all this, but now it's gone back to free bags.
Maybe we should
They're
check
still
the
charging
receipt.
me.
Maybe they're still just charging automatically.
Oh, that could
instead
be.
of
I
asking.
wouldn't be surprised.
10 cents
Yeah.
per bag when it costs 1/10 of 1 cent, maybe per
Right.
bag.
Yep.
Right.
And that was in Seattle when I was like, oh, you have to pay 10 cents a bag. I'm like, what the fuck?
I just find it's absurd. So there's the place that we go to is called Winco, and it's actually a pretty badass grocery store. It's owned by the employees rather than, some central corporate thing. And it really is a cool place to shop. But you bag your own. They don't bag it for you, and it's set up really well for it. It's
Good.
not a big deal.
Fucker
And it's
touched
like
my food.
they're not allowing people to bring in their reusable bags either. And I'm like, you're not handling nobody else is touching the bags but me. Like, what the fuck? What are these rules that make no sense, that aren't going to do anything?
It's
Like, where are they
because
coming
thought
from?
It's because they thought the virus could live longer on the bags, and so if you had them, you were putting them in the cart, then you're putting them on the counters, and therefore people can get it because of all the surfaces that are being touched there. Then
Never
later they
mind
found out
that
that's
everybody's
not really
touching
true.
it everywhere around the surface when they're
Yeah.
bagging their shit. I mean, let's not even talk about that. The fact that people pick up things off the shelf and put it back, like, it's all just kind of ludicrous.
And
isn't it?
you forget
I mean,
the people who mostly bring their own bags in the grocery store, the fucking homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
really?
I don't think I can agree with that one.
living in California, people come in with all the fucking soccer moms and like hipsters. They all fucking have their cloth.
I
bags.
live in Las Vegas. The same group of homeless people come to my grocery store all the fucking time, bringing their loads with them.
Well, Las
Oh, really?
Vegas is
Yeah.
full of homeless people, dude. Let's be real.
Really?
We got a
Yeah,
shout out to
I mean,
Turtle
it's full
Power.
as many as California, the entire
Total
state.
power.
That's right. So
You know-
yeah, that
Yeah.
was something I just couldn't. I don't understand that kind of shit. And now all the stores have, it's one way aisles. They have like fucking shit stickers on the floor that are like, you can only go this way down this aisle, and it's like, what is happening?
But are you even
And-
following that? I'm not following that.
Of course
I just
not.
shop
Nobody's
normal.
following that.
Nobody.
No, but then you have the Karens, right? The Karens everywhere that look at you sideways when you don't.
They don't
I-
follow their own fucking rules either.
I tend to go out with like a king diamond or another shirt with like an inverted cross on. It doesn't matter. they could look at me sideways for a whole number of things.
And
So,
Mhm.
is there anything going on where you guys are at that you just completely perplexed by?
The whole thing, man. The whole
Yeah.
thing is perplexing.
me,
The
it's the
rules
point.
don't make sense. It seems arbitrary. They change directions on a dime. None of it seems. I know it's. I'm not saying it's not real. I just think it's way fucking overblown.
And now they're already starting
Mhm.
sharing messages about, do you want it to go back like it was, or do you want a new system? And I'm like, oh yeah, like it's not fucking obvious that was the entire fucking purpose of it, and keeping us in the house and trying to destroy all those fucking small businesses and shit like that. And it's kind of like,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, well, I mentioned some wonky theory that somebody had said the other day, and I'm not saying I subscribe to this, but it's pretty interesting. The whole 5G thing, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was that, and 5G is kind of tied into RFID, and there's people that say that the vaccine for COVID, they're going to put some kind of nanotechnology in it. It's going to go into your blood. Well,
Right.
you know what the range between RFID tags happens to be, where you can effectively read them. It's 2 meters. 2 meters is 6 feet. What is social distancing? 6 feet.
6 feet.
2 meters. So if we end up getting built into our brain social distancing, stay 2 meters apart, and let's say some RFID technology comes out for chipping or whatever. It's already built into our conscious system. We need to stay 6 feet apart. So
Right.
I don't know why
That's
anybody would want to
fascinating.
track
Yeah,
me,
but
but
do you notice that doesn't work when it has to be about manifestation or riots?
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
we still
no,
have we
dude.
still have to stay inside the house, right? Mm.
but the thing I'm getting at is the conspiracy behind it, saying that the government
Yeah.
wants to track you, that kind of shit. So I just thought it was a funny conjecture.
Yeah, dude, those rabbit
So let me
holes are
perpetuate
endless,
that
dude.
thing
Yeah.
on the internet. Let's put that out
Too
there.
late. They already track us.
So Razmaz is saying the cops can fine you here if you aren't wearing the damn mask even in your car.
In your car.
That's insane.
Holy
Again,
shit.
it's insane. And wearing a mask all the damn time is horrible for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
not a
losing
good
my
idea.
job from a Karen the first
It's-
week of this COVID-19 shit.
Oh, really?
It's the same thing that happens to people who have sleep apnea, where they become toxic because of CO2. If you're constantly breathing in and your O2 levels are going down and down and down, you're rebreathing CO2, you become toxic. Your blood becomes toxic. So it's the same idea.
I
Yeah.
definitely said it feels different working, like wearing a mask and doing my normal work for the entire day as opposed to a normal day. I feel way worse afterwards. I
Yeah.
thought it was just me being, used to sitting at home waiting for them to call me in. But
I have
I
to.
could play a little bit of it.
That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, I used to have to wear a mask when I work outside because protect my face from sunburns, and during the sun and the hot day, pain in the ass.
Yeah.
After a while, I feel you.
Yeah. I haven't worn a mask once since all of this, but they haven't. Here I guess they weren't as obviously the stores weren't as strict. It's not like the cops aren't out enforcing anything like that. So I just didn't bother with it. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
weird how the mental assault on everyone that's going on constantly. Like I remember the first time I went out after all this shit happened, I went to Home Depot and I was wearing a mask and I was sitting there and I'm like, am I really under threat right now? Am I really going to bring something home that's going to make my family sick? I just the fear of that really sucked.
Yeah.
And so when I got home, I washed my hands, I washed my face, I took off, pretty much all my clothes and changed my clothes and, washed everything. And I started thinking, I'm like, is this real? Like, is this what we're going to do now for going forward?
Or did they just turn us all into OCD, like kind of
Exactly.
like pushing us toward that kind of madness almost?
Yeah, the paranoia, dude. And after a while, when I started noticing how arbitrary everything is, like there new rule. Why? Because okay, our figures were wrong, our models were incorrect. Oh, it's actually people already have we're finding that a big portion of people we're testing have antibodies already. Really? How the fuck did that happen? Oh, asymptomatic people are actually not really transmitting it to people who don't have it. Like, what? I thought this was so deadly. Oh, well, they're laying off doctors and nurses. They're doing TikTok videos and pretending to be, doing the fucking Harlem Shake in the fucking ER. Like, what is going on? Like,
And now they're standing outside the hospital high-fiving protesters with their gloved hands and in their fucking surgeon suits.
It doesn't make any sense. It's my logical and critical thinking brain is going, what the fuck? This doesn't make sense.
Nope.
None of it does.
Well,
Yeah, from the first week of still working and dumping garbage in, the residents didn't even take any different procedures when they're dumping feces in their garbage.
Ugh. Say what now?
Well, feces, like animal poop. They got children.
Okay.
They throw their diapers away.
Every time you bring up a point, Gargoyle, it either has to do with semen, poop, or piss. One of those three things.
I worked in dumping shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. I don't know. What the hell? I think I just made up my mind pretty early on because I don't have any trust in mainstream media at all. I pretty much just assume that they're always, at the very least, exaggerating greatly, and at the worst, they're just outright lying. So I just made up my mind early that this was maybe a slightly more serious flu than normal, but it's just the flu season. You know, big headline, shocker, the flu kills old people and people who are already sick. Wow. No fucking shit. Are you kidding? Like this has been true since the beginning of fucking human history.
The only thing that I would add to that really is that there was a bit of gray area between just old people and people who are sick. With they also included people who had maybe heart disease and asthma and things like that, which the flu kind of doesn't really. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but they really pushed that other angle to say, no, there's lots of you who could get it. You know what I mean? So there was like that added fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, Lucius was pretty open about this. You know, he made some videos about it and talked about it. So I don't feel like I'm sharing anything he wouldn't want me to, but you know, his lady tested positive. She's a nurse. Mm-hmm. So of course he assumed that would also mean he was, and they stayed at home, you know, did the at home thing for a while. They very, very mild symptoms, nothing debilitating at all. And he went back to work shortly, you know, in no time at all. So it just, that's the only actual like person I know that I've talked to that maybe had it, and it was nothing.
Well, so, Michael Beacon, one of our fellow Pixel Squishers, colorist, creator of what's his comic, Sim?
Seven Legions.
Seven Legions. Yeah.
Legions.
He had it also, and he said it was like, yeah, it's the flu. It sucked, but
it's you have problem, you have pain, and it's just like having a bronchitis and the flu. It's pretty much what it is.
So kind of like every time I've had the
pain, short breath, you know,
like right. Yeah. I don't know that there's such a negativity and kind of almost ridicule of people who are like leery of vaccines and what have you. But I gotta tell you,
isn't it crazy how that is?
Anything that they offer for free, that this world tries to give you for free, I would think long and hard about that. Go and get your free flu vaccine. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna go ahead and skip it.
Never gotten a flu shot, not one time.
I haven't either.
I've gotten.
There was also you have.
Yeah,
there's also a story I heard.
Makes us get one every year.
Yeah,
I heard also
they can get a flu shot.
There was a report that people who get the normal flu shot are in a group of people that are more susceptible to C-19. Like if you overlay the numbers of people who've gotten flu shots in the past, like they said, you're more likely to be able to contract COVID.
Oh, that's lovely.
Really believe that. A lot of people that get flu shots are older and are therefore already more susceptible. Like more prone to getting it, or like there's a lot of employers that do make people get it, and the reason we have to get it is because we work with large crowds of people that travel often, which puts it as a big risk too. So I think that a lot of these populations kind of.
My wife hasn't lost her kid.
I'm sorry, what was that, Gargoyle?
My wife's cousin lost her kid for not getting her kid the flu shot, so it's an iffy thing.
Yeah,
you can be anti-vaccine, but when you see a kid on the deathbed after getting the flu, you kind of have a different opinion about it.
Oh, I'm sure you do. It just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of evidence that it really stops people getting the flu.
At this point, I'm wondering if it's not. We shouldn't see the COVID like a chicken pox type of thing. Because right now, everybody that had it passed through it, right? They're okay.
Right.
Okay, if you have other type of like illness, you can succumb to it, right?
The virus isn't what kills you. The virus isn't what kills you. It's the immunoresponse that kills you. It's the fact that your mucous membranes swell up and fill your lungs full of fluid. That's what kills you. You know what I mean? The virus does attack the cell walls and the villi inside of your lungs. So once it ruptures a lot of villi, your ability to respirate goes down a lot. You lose lung capacity. But the thing that's killing you is your mucus that build up. that further reduces it. So I don't know, man. I'm always leery of any kind of non big bug vaccines. You know, I don't do them.
Yeah, I just don't. Sure. I don't like. This is, you know, it's a very greedy world, especially. Well, it's just there's just greed and capitalism everywhere. That's what it's all built on. And when something's offered for free, I don't get, you know, that just, it's a huge question mark to me. I don't.
Well, when you get
why
Bill
would it be
Gates,
free? Why, if it's something?
When you hear Bill Gates, who's got a stake in pharmaceutical companies, saying, you know, we should have a registry, and you should be able to work if you haven't gotten your vaccine. When you got guys like that who with interests like that saying stuff like that, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I have, you know, I'm extremely knowledgeable about it. So, you know, I'm coming from a little bit, a place of ignorance, I guess you could say. But I'm just very,
place of ignorance. Always.
I'm just very leery of, you know, government injecting my bloodstream with anything. Like, I'm just not, it's not like something I want to submit to. So I've definitely been concerned that the end game of COVID is you're either going to get this vaccine whenever they come out with one, or you're not going to be able to exist in this society. And I'm like, I'm really worried about it. Like, they're not going to let you work. They're going to limit what you can do if you refuse to do it, or maybe even you'll go to, who knows?
Then you get all the Bible believing Christians going, see, I told you.
Yes.
Revelation.
Yeah. Yes, Skip Edward going, bleeding cool news. Boomer CG panel is anti-vax.
I am absolutely not anti-vaccination.
Not I wouldn't say I'm that far either. I wouldn't say I would go there. I'm leery of it.
We're just saying that right now there's weird things happening that makes like,
I'm on the side. I don't really know anymore.
Yeah.
Well, as a dad, I was always concerned about the battery of vaccines that your kids have to get. Mm-hmm. Like, they get assaulted with vaccines, right? Whereas the schedule for vaccines, like in the 70s when I was a little kid, was spaced out, right? Gave your body time to assimilate it, right? You get to build up your immunities. You take a little bit at a time on a schedule. Now, if you look at the difference between what was required then and how much time they spaced out with what is required now, it's like tripled, and in shorter intervals, right? They get fucking slammed with vaccines. Boom, boom, like dozens of different things really quick. So
that's
to
insane.
say that doesn't have an effect on your body, it's just
what Ryan's talking about too, you know, like how many you're supposed to give your baby and the time you're supposed to give them. It's like, holy.
Yeah.
That would be a really tough decision for me, you know, if I, as a parent, like I would have to think long and hard about it. And then of course you can, you know, I don't know if there are repercussions if you choose not to do that. Like, you can't go to a public school. I don't know. Is that
the people who did for a while with one of the other vice? I don't remember exactly what was the name of it, but there was one of the vaccine that they did that the kids couldn't go to school if they didn't have it.
Yeah,
it was
the people on the other side of the argument that like get violently angry with you if you question anything at all. Blow my mind. They're like, well, you're putting my kid at risk because you're not getting your kid vaccinated. Wait. Isn't your kid vaccinated? So why is my decision to maybe space it out a little bit affecting you? Because your kids are getting vaccinated. They're building up their immunities. I don't understand why people who are making a free choice to say, look, well, let's give a few here, space it out 6 months and give a few more, rather than the fucking, you know, the silo, the farming silo full of fucking vaccines all at once. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm not really pro or against that, Scotsman, but I've heard that argument before, and it's normally from parents who have kids who have a medical condition that prevents them from getting a vaccine of some sort. That's normally where I make that argument. If the kid has the vaccine, I agree with you 100%, but that's just not normally where I hear that argument come from.
Yeah, it's well, I hear it from all sides.
I'm not a parent, so maybe I'm just not in the right circles for it.
Well, it's one of those things too where we're like we always have to adjust our behavior to the Karen, right? My child has a peanut allergy, so no peanut butter jelly sandwiches for anyone at school. Sorry, fuck you. You know, like everybody's got to like do without because Jimmy has a peanut allergy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's ridiculous. Something that really bothers me about present day, you know, everything is that it seems like this constant attempt or push to bring things down to the lowest common denominator instead of striving for the, you know, it's like participation awards, or we can't have accelerated advanced classes in school because it's not fair. Or, you know, like why? What are you talking about? Are you saying human beings can't excel now? They all have to be brought down to a baseline lowest common denominator? What the fuck?
I'm for violent meritocracy, man. If you suck, fuck you. Figure out some skills.
Right.
You know what I mean? Educate yourself. Figure out what you're good at. Work hard. You know what I mean? Overcome shit. Don't dumb down the entire society and make things the you know what I mean, fair for everybody. You know what I mean? Like
that's right. Exactly, Raz, man.
No sound.
That's exactly right.
No sound.
No sound for you, but I heard it.
Yep.
Oh.
You too.
I heard it. Made me feel good.
Yeah.
I think that was Streamlabs. There's probably no sound on YouTube.
No, there was sound on YouTube.
There was?
Oh, there wasn't sound on Streamlabs. The Streamlabs.
StreamYards, you mean?
Fuck! StreamYards.
Streamlabs is something different.
Oh, there was something I was going to bring up. Like something else that's just a little goofy. Oh, I was going to ask, like, what has been the impact around you guys in terms of local businesses? Have you guys lost a lot, or did they carry through okay?
The businesses I cared about stayed around. Like my local comic book shop equated it to the same like thing that happened like 2010. He just said it was like another recession for him, but that store's already survived 3 of them, so he's like, I already kind of knew what to do at this point, and I didn't make the same mistakes I made the first time, so he's in even better shape than he was.
I kept my seed grain. I kept the varmints out of my seed grain. We were fine.
The only thing I had was like just like I knew a lot of family members that were in like the service industry that, you know, lost their jobs and had to get different stuff. So now like one of my family members went from being like a manager in a bar to working in a warehouse. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's kind of different.
Yeah,
that sucks. We've lost, well, the local like weekly paper here, I think they were going on 40 years, you know, went under, just because the advertising just dried up. They were already kind of struggling, as most, you know, a lot of print publications are that rely on advertising. And, yeah, they went under, so that was huge. We lost some restaurants, for sure.
Yeah.
There was one we went to, really enjoyed, that just couldn't make it. And it's like, you know, again, was any of this necessary? Was this really... It seems to me that at some point, everyone's going to get the thing anyway. Like, what was this necessary?
Well, and that's the thing that I got blocked on Facebook by a few people who were friends and friends of friends and that were nurses because of my outburst about the fucking TikTok videos, right? So I basically said, nurses, I love you. Can you fucking quit it with the TikTok videos? There are people sitting at home wondering if they're going to come back to a job. And we were told that we did this for you guys, right? That's the thing that they don't want to live up. They don't want to fess up to. We shut the economy down, not so people wouldn't get sick, a little bit, primarily. And just look at the tape, roll back the tape. The messaging was, we don't want to overwhelm the hospitals, the nurses and doctors. We don't want to kill them. We don't want to overwhelm them with a tidal wave of people who have these new conditions. So shelter in place. We'll shut down the economy. Everybody stay at home. Cover up your face. Don't go out unless you need to. For the healthcare system, primarily. not so people wouldn't get sick.
Exactly.
People are
That's
gonna
how
get
it's.
sick.
That was the beginning narrative.
So
which, of
that was the
course, is
narrative.
just
That was
yeah.
the kickoff, right? So when you see nurses and doctors doing fucking TikTok videos, dancing in the fucking hallways, reenacting George Washington crossing the Potomac on office chairs, after the third time you see that shit, and you're sitting at home going, yeah, my company just went through layoffs and I lost a couple designers. I'm now doing the work of 4 fucking people, right?
Yeah. Right.
So fuck you. Get back to work.
And now you got internet thoughts blocking your traffic to get to work and get to home.
Yeah, and thoughts.
Yeah, it's so, and that's really, they're just trying to bury that entire beginning, the whole reason for all of this. It really feels like the end game was to create a new normal for everyone, to put people in a psychological headspace of social distancing, being, stay at home more, do more shopping online, like everything online. Just,
you mean like the way I've been living for the last decade or more?
Basically,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, I shelter in place, I shop online, I social distance. Yeah. I mean, I did it voluntarily though.
I agree. For me, it hasn't had an impact too much on the day to day for me. But there's no denying that it's completely changed things for a lot of people and how they view their day to day lives. I mean, it's just a big shift, and that kind of seems like the point. Like, it's not going back. All of this is going to remain in place indefinitely. So,
nah, I don't think so. Not all of this.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think that
so?
restaurants
I
can
don't think
afford to keep the social distancing that way, especially in California. It's too expensive. Like,
And
they
people are
they
going
do
to
all
get
that math
pissed.
by square footage. So each square foot of the restaurant needs to produce so much money for this restaurant to stay open. When you
Right.
reduce the number of tables, that price goes up, but people aren't making enough to actually pay that. So they need to put more tables and chairs in and let more people in so they can stay open. So they'll just end up
Agreed.
closing. So like it's definitely not going to stay the same. And when all those businesses start closing, they lose money. So the government
Yeah.
will feel it in the taxes and they say, "Oh, we need to change this."
Last time that happened, that's how the tip thing got created. But the tips are now there. What are they going to come up with?
Just the
Oh,
tip.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Depending
know
on the
there's...
business, they got... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is depending on the business, they got goofy-ass regulations, and depending on the state. Like, you got diversity points, you got certain numbers to prove that you're diverse in your business, and then you gotta have X, Y, and Z. So, if you have 45 employees, you have to expand your business. For some small businesses, that's next to impossible to do.
Yeah.
So, you got these companies that are expected to close, expected to pay their employees everything that they promise, and try to keep employees employed with accommodating to quote-unquote diversity points that they all done to themselves.
Insane. Yeah, to what you were saying, Mitchell, there's a guy I know, he, right before this, he finally got to be like head chef to run a restaurant, and then of course this happened like almost right after that, and they're just now, they've opened up, it's like 50% seating, but he's like you're saying, losing that much seating is a huge problem, but also all the extra things and steps that they have to do throughout the day, the sanitizing everything, keeping X number of people in the waiting area, like having to, just this extra work that's involved. It's like, there's just no way it's sustainable for a restaurant. It's not going to work. So yeah, you're right. It has to go back to normal, or a lot of restaurants are just going to go down.
We're heading for the no human contact very goddamn soon.
Yeah. And like another thing that I've seen is, so I spent a lot of time in the grocery industry. That was like my first job, was working in there. And it seems like every store has, like Safeway or all these other stores, has one person at the door just standing there watching the door to make sure you have a mask, making sure you're not bringing in
Right.
your own bags, like whatever the rule of the day is. And just coming from, like, I used to do bookkeeping for grocery stores, that person is taking away hours from an actual job the store needs done. They don't have infinite hours, even a big chain. So that person is making sure that we don't have a stalker, we don't have that extra cashier, we don't have that extra little bit of grease to do something. And that's just going to wear down your store as well. I mean, just all these little things. It's like death by 1,000 cuts with all these rules.
Yeah. Ted Lemon makes an interesting statement here. How much of this was to create an atmosphere of telling on your neighbors? Yeah, maybe.
A lot of places encouraged it, and
Then
then a few places you could request all that information.
It all comes to like the basic of what the art of war is about. You create a conflict, you create something that will create division and people to tell on other people. That you create a distrust, and people will turn each other just for you. So technically, it's like people won't trust their neighbor, but they'll only trust you.
Right. Yeah.
I have a little side anecdote that is completely off topic.
Oh, I love it.
I purchased on Amazon bags and boards, a couple hundred of them, because a lot of the bags and boards that I have are yellowing, fucking swelling, getting loose and gross. They have tape on the back, and I'm like, they're just not stacking really well, and it was grossing me out. They're covered in dust and shit. So I decided to rebag and board a lot of my comics.
Nice.
There's nothing more satisfying than just nicely tight bagged and boarded, beautiful stacks of comics, rows of them. And this many a cover have had their covers damaged by this tape on the back of the fucking thing as you're pulling it out, right?
Yep.
So the self-sealing comics or self-sealing bags and boards, you just peel this little thing off and it seals. There's no tape involved. You're never going to stick it to your cover. It's fucking great. Well, anyway, I pulled out the Dark Phoenix saga right here, and in there, stuffed in, was a letter from the school district that I went to school in 1988, June 1st, 1988. Dear John, that's me. The Board of Education and I, my superintendent, would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on being a recipient of the 1988 Presidential Academic Fitness Award. You are one of 835 students in our school district in grades 6, 8, and 12 who will receive this award this year. We are very proud of you and this outstanding academic achievement you've demonstrated, and wish you the best as you go on to the new stage of your education.
Wow.
Signed by the superintendent of my school district.
That's
lovely.
glorious.
Weird, right? It's just
what happened?
I don't know. I went on to graduate valedictorian in college, so I don't know. Nothing.
Nice, man. Yeah, you are a rock star. Everyone knows that Scotsman is a genuine rock star.
No, I'm
Certainly
just a drummer.
humble.
I just
Certainly
keep time. I keep time.
Keep good time, man.
But yeah, that's weird side anecdote. But like, you find things that remind you of the past when things were simpler, when you were innocent, when you were younger. And we're talking about all this shit that's going on right now. And just to see that was like, I remember when I didn't have to deal with any of this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a valid point. It's
I read comics.
yeah, we've been immersed in this long enough now that you're right. It's kind of wow. That was nice. Not that long ago, it was very different. To wake up in the day, it wasn't. You didn't have to. You weren't weighed down by all of this shit.
Yeah, that letter's from 1988.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit! Just tucked away in a bag. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you never know when you're gonna come across something like that. So anyway, figured I'd share.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like me the other day falling on all those old referral letters from college and university. That felt good.
Kept this ever since I was 12.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that's right. You were saying that you were a huge fan of Cyberfrog since you were a kid. It's really cool.
Yeah. Dumb story. comic book store owner gave me this copy of Cyberpunk. Goes, get the fuck out of my store, kid.
Yeah, there you go.
But just
Comic
something
fan for
about
life.
nice tight bags and boards, all nicely. Just they stack real nice. They smell nice.
Beautiful, man. Nice.
Anyway,
So you get to work from home every now and then, Scotsman?
yeah. I decided to stay home a couple days. My son, he wasn't feeling well yesterday. He had like some hives and stuff, and so I didn't want to leave him here alone. My wife and my daughter took off to Havasu. My dad has a lake house up there, to hang out for my daughter and one of her friends wanted to go up there. It was her birthday, so they decided they wanted to go up there. And I said, all right, me and the boy will stay home. But he got sick, so I stayed home.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well,
that's why I'm on the repartee.
Yeah, dude. Very nice having you, man. It's been a minute since you were on the show. It's always good. Are you gonna grace us on the Deuce this Friday?
I'll try. See, the thing is, when I leave the office on Friday, I gotta drive for about an hour ish, and then usually I take the wife and kids out for dinner on Friday nights. We go out to dinner. Yeah. So in the past like couple months we haven't went out, obviously. Right. So last Friday was the first night we went out for dinner as a family.
Oh, good. Damn, dude. Well, that's why I missed. Obviously far more important than our stupid little show.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to just bounce on you. You know what I mean? That's why I let you know. Like, I'm a maybe. I'll try to come on if I can.
Yeah. Well, we had
showing off some drawings.
I love the unboxing. I'll tell you that. That was.
Oh man,
great.
Ink brought it.
Yeah,
brought the fire with that one. Jeez. Yeah, that's a legendary
I like
moment.
Bashing the fucking mailer open was.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
And after he tore it up, he was like, "It arrived in great condition."
I think there's a couple corners that are a little dinged up, but
yeah, that was good stuff. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, let's make the rounds here. Thanks for a nice level-headed discussion about the madness going on in the world. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to the chat for contributing. Sim, anything you want to shout out specifically?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out people. Go pay attention to Deepwell, More Lethal, Seven Legions. They're like campaigns that deserve more attention. Go check out Doc Salem. There's going to be a crossover with Blood Hunt.
Yeah.
Backers of Blood Hunt. The proof of coming in. So that means you're going to be getting your book soon. So yes. Go sign up to Tales from the Nadverse. And before I leave, go sub to that guy's channel. Right? Great fucking content. Don't forget to sub to this guy there.
Yes, please.
And like his video right here.
Yes. And we got a link to Tales from the Natverse sign up in the description below, as well as a link to Scotsman's coloring of Xenotype.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to throw out there, Scotsman?
Me or it'd be Mitchell's next.
We'll get to Mitchell.
Well,
I'm
still trying to catch up on the links that Sim was trying to throw out.
I'm going haphazard this time.
Fair enough. Willy nilly, as it were. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I like the willy nilly style.
Yeah.
As Sim graciously pointed out, if you could come check out my channel, subscribe to Scotsman TV. I also stream on Twitch at Scotsman TV. Rebranded my Twitch channel.
Which messed me up, by the way.
Sorry about that.
Because I kept on going back to the old one, and it kept on saying not found, and then I look over to my left, and like, oh, it's right over there, though, and click on it.
Did you change it?
Yeah.
Did you change it for Sim's favorite Twitch dot?
I did actually. Well, actually, I got a URL website, and I point it to there. So people go to Sim's favorite Twitch thought, it goes to Scotsman TV.
Beautiful.
Turtle power.
Yeah.
Yep.
So check out live coloring streams for Xenotype. on my channel, as well as Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. I do the Beyond the Gate show. We did one last weekend. Well, actually, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That was a funny show. Also, I'm going to be launching a new content forum. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but it's going to be me voice acting Scotsman reading classic comics, an excerpt from each book.
All right. Nice.
So
dude.
that way I can inspire people to maybe want to read. I have a setup where I have a camera that points down at my keyboard where I'm going to be holding the book. I'm going to be reading and voice acting the characters. And, if that inspires somebody to pick up a comic book and read it, physically hold it in their hands, I want to do that because I think
dude.
that's going to preserve our medium.
That's a cool idea. When are you kicking that off?
I want to do one this weekend.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to start with my favorite comic of all time, Wolverine #1.
Oh,
So,
nice, dude.
That is a good one.
Very cool.
I'm the best at
That's
what I
great,
do,
man.
and what I do is not very nice.
Yep.
Mitchell, did you want to shout out anything?
Yeah. There's 3 nights, 4 days, part 1. It's live now.
Nice.
Micaiah
That's
Curtis.
That's Micah's
Yep,
new book,
Micah.
right? Yeah.
And it's got the good Preston too, doing the
Right.
artwork. The artwork looks awesome.
Phenomenal
I mean,
work.
It's definitely worth checking out. I'll drop a link in the chat for it.
Very cool. Yeah, that's been up and running, not very long, right?
5 days, I think.
5 days or so? Cool.
Yeah, got just under 10K. It's at 7,770.
I gotta see if Micah wants to come on sometime. I'd love to. I haven't actually talked to Micah yet.
Nice.
So
Nice, dude.
here are the 2 sketch cards I did.
During
Hell
the
yeah.
show,
Mm-hmm. But
Come on, Rod, make the screen bigger.
this guy is always sorry. I'm being lazy. You're right.
There you go.
There we
Nice, dude. Always being productive in more ways than one. Sim, man.
And
go.
I'd
That's
like
like
to
as
say
beautiful as wet titties.
hashtag turtle power.
Yes, of course. So of course.
Oh,
Gargoyle.
and just a little repost if Captain Fuckhead's out there. I'm
Yes.
I'm at the point where I'm going to need some more pages that you have flatted, finished up, and sent my way. If you can soon, be great.
Get to work, fuckhead. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck.
No, I'm just letting him know. I'm reaching that point.
It's like stop slowing down the group.
I'm gonna send him another tranche of pages after this one. After I get these from him.
Say that word one more time.
Tranche.
Yes.
Tranche.
Oh, it's like you can learn a new word every time you listen to a Scotsman show.
I'll try to bring that to the table.
You do.
Stefan!
You just
Yay! We can think of that metal song.
The funniest part is the entire video. It's like, fun.
That was great, dude.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's good. Stuff.
You die!
Really fun. I don't understand what's going on. And then turns around and goes, the fun. I think it's the
I don't
entire
think
setup.
she's actually saying Stefan though.
No,
she's
I don't
saying
think so either,
Something in
but-
Thai, Sapan, I think is what she's saying. But
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Gargoyle,
But
you
it's
got
so
anything
funny.
you want to shout out?
I
I know Foreign
back,
Agent, right?
back a lot of projects. We got Xenotype. Scotsman didn't promote that. Sims got a stretch goal project with Lost Pages, which I'm currently drawing a set of characters and making a muffin. Trying to redraw it for submission. Yeah, I'm calling them
Kazungas.
muffins now.
Yeah. Kazungas.
Top heavy and no nutritional value.
Speaking of top heavy,
Yeah.
I did background inks on this Catwoman back in the day.
Let's see it. Ooh.
Yeah,
You did the
signed by
what?
Marlo Alquiza, my buddy.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Sexy, dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
Scotsman. Will you ever do a background inking tutorial?
Background inking tutorial? Yeah, you just need a
Or-
ruler, French curves, and some templates and some tech pens, and yeah.
And
Oh,
go
fine
at it.
then. Fine
But I
then.
can. No, I can. Once I'm done with Xenotype, once I'm done with my coloring tutorials, which I've neglected the tutorials sadly, I'll do an inking tutorial as
Hail.
well.
Nice.
One of
Nice.
the segments in the coloring tutorial is going to be inking for coloring. It's going to be how to interpret the inks to color comics, because your Rosetta Stone of lighting, of everything, comes from the inks themselves.
Okay,
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. Hey,
Interesting.
Mets, you caught us right at the tail end of this one. Good to see you, though. Thank you to the chat, everyone that hung out with us and shared out the show. Yeah. Thanks for my panel for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.